We actually interviewed several contractors, and PR was referred to us by a gal that I knew through some connections in the design business. And so we interviewed Sean and the company and found them to be eager to work with and communicative, so we decided to go with them.
I think transparency, open and honesty. I mean, when you're doing a remodel, especially this was basically a tear down. We started out as a remodel and changed the scope by increasing the square footage by 50% and basically impacting every single aspect of the house. Well, this job was mostly a change order because it started out as a $1 million project and ended up 5 times that. So it was a combination of because we changed the scope. We started off with the kitchen and then we decided, okay, well, we have a few other things that we want to do. There was never a plan to expand the square footage. We had a designer involved, so that worked out very well, but Steph and I really wouldn't have thought of several of the things that we ultimately did. But again, once you move out and once you decide this is going to be our last remodel, you kind of want to make sure everything that's in your lifestyle and what you project to be in your lifestyle was incorporated within the remodel. So when you move back in, you were going to be happy with it, and we are.
Let's do this once and let's do it right, and let's do everything we want to do now so that we don't have to look back and regret or have to move out again or go through this process again.
Well, I think I don't have a favorite room. I think there's many aspects of the house. That's what the remodel was really accomplished, its objective. It took longer, it cost more, but at the end of the day, we got everything that we wanted to. And we're here in the wine cellar. We're very much, we have our own winery, so we're involved with wine. We love wine, and having the wine cellar is a great asset. But so is the theater, and so is the large entertainment area with the large bar, a beautiful master bedroom, a library, prep room. We have a chapel because we have a lot of religious functions here. And that was another add that we decided, we do so much of that, we really needed to have a facility that it could accommodate our Catholic faith, and we've used it enormously. So every aspect of the house we've used.
And we want to do it right. And so Tim had always wanted a wine cellar, and I said, let's dig the wine cellar. I mean, at the end of the day, we're glad we did it. I mean, we moved everything around, and it's really accommodated our lifestyle.
Yeah, I say the biggest issue in a remodel or any construction project, and I've built many in commercial, is open communication, because when you're remodeling a house, you do it once in a lifetime or a couple times in a lifetime, and you don't really have the experience, so you're learning, and you need to, there's a lot of coordination, so miscommunication is the norm, and you're dealing with people that communicate differently. They know their business, you don't, and you're talking to them in one language, they're talking to you in another. And so it's very important that you meet with the general, but also the subcontractors come in and you describe exactly what you want and they can understand it. Then you're not building something and then you come in and say, wow, this is not what I expected. The other thing is it forces you to keep looking at the residence while it's under reformation, because if you catch something going away before it gets finished, you can stop it at a much cheaper price and say, no, that's not what I meant, or that's not what the plans say. And so I think that's the key of any remodeling or any construction program, is to keep open communication, weekly meetings. If there's nothing to meet about, then come anyway, because there never was nothing to meet about. The workers during the remodel process were excellent. What I particularly feel important in a job site is to keep it clean. It's, first of all, it avoids accidents, but it's hard to see how people are going to do an effective job if things are lying all over the place. And so the job was cleaned up daily. People work cooperatively with the neighbors. This is a huge construction job. It was a difficult process. You had sometimes 50 trucks here. I mean, that's going to disrupt the neighborhood. And so everybody was very cooperative, and we tried to, both personally and through the contractors, we worked with them, and they appreciated it. What it really does is adds to the value of their residences, and it becomes a new baseline. And we had built it because our next door neighbor had built a beautiful home, and we kind of just built another beautiful home next door. So they kind of go together, and I think other people can feel comfortable remodeling their homes because they're not overbuilding for the market. That was not our concern. We wanted to build a home that we were going to live in. It was never in our intention to sell it during our lifetime. So whether we were overbuilding or underbuilding for the market, that wasn't our question. If I was asked if I would use PR again, I'd say absolutely. They did a great job, and probably the most important thing they did for us is they kept us on task with communication. They met with us every week, and they never ended the meetings till we were done. They didn't try to cancel meetings. They always showed up on time, and they brought the subcontractors who had to deal with the issues. And yeah, there was a lot of shocks that, as to what it would cost, how long it would take. But that's just because remodels are unique and they require things that people aren't accustomed to. So you have to work through that, digest it, and decide, okay, well, do you want to do it or don't you, based on what you now know. And I think we ended up doing just about everything we wanted to do, and then some, and we were very happy. And at our age, we don't want to do it again. We hope to be here till we die.
From my standpoint, I think those expectations have certainly been met.
We really enjoyed the house, and I can't think of anything else I'd want to add. I think we did everything we wanted to do, and we're very, very delighted.
We had some additional land that PR helped kind of bring a surveyor in and figure out how we could add on to the house, and we had to do a little bit of retaining wall work, etc. And then they recommended a great architect who got involved probably at least a year before we even put a pick in the ground. We sort of sat down and designed what we wanted, kind of designed it around our lifestyle with our kids. And
it was picking somebody who was experienced, and we knew we could get good quality. We wanted to do a general that could manage the whole project, and so we wouldn't have to do that ourselves. And as we wanted to maybe change a few things or add a few things here, it was great getting Sean and Brian's feedback.
I mean, one of the things you need with a contractor, general contractor, that experience is so key, because you may think this is a great idea and they'll show you why it is or why it isn't, or that's neat, but we could modify it like this and take you to a job they've done before.
Or something that you may think is a simple thing to change, and then it's not so simple.
Yeah, and we've had friends that
right, we have gone through that.
Didn't have that luxury of a contractor with that experience, and it was a nightmare for them.
When we went through the project at first and looked at all the things that needed to be done, I was aware of each piece and part. They completed each piece of the construction in a timely fashion for each piece of the project. The part I really liked best was, while they were working here, they were very concerned about taping things off and making sure that the dust didn't get everywhere. So things were taped off, tarps were put up, the stairs were completely covered. Anywhere that anybody was walking, completely covered until the project was complete, and then it was removed.
The thing that a lot of homeowners need to realize here, that much of your costs can be in wasted time. And I've seen so many houses built in Villa Park and around, whether they're remodels or full builds, where they took years and years and years. And I would tell any prospective homeowner that wants to build a new home that time is money, and PR Construction and Sean saved me a lot of money on the time, and allowed us, and by doing that, allowed us to live our dream much sooner than we had hoped.
turned out to be a year job, and we lived in the house. Fortunately, I'll say this about PR, they're very clean.
Very clean.
They come in, they're prompt, they're on time, 7 a.m., ding dong, there they are with the whole team, boom. And when they leave, they don't leave a filthy mess, which is important to us.
Well, and for the neighbors too, you know, it wasn't an eyesore, piles of junk left around. They daily, you know, would have things cleaned up.
You try and stay friends with your neighbors doing
yeah.
something like this.
There was 4 trucks, there was dudes hanging all over it ready to come in, and I opened the gate and they just started driving by, and I got on the cell phone and I called her at work. She was working that day, and I said, she goes, hey, did they even show up? She knew I was calling, and I go, honey, everything happened like he said, except for the move that bus, because that's the only part that was missing. And I was blown away. I go, there's more guys in our place right now fixing it than I've seen throughout the whole project. And we were used to 3 dudes swinging a hammer and leaving. It looked like they did nothing. When she came home the first day, she walked upstairs and everything that was done and the way it was handled, and we were so overcome. It was like, man, I can't believe we found somebody. We were going nowhere with it, and PR came in and took care of it.
I wanted quality work. And you can look around and you can shop price and you can do all of those things. What kind of quality work are you going to get? I heard from people in my neighborhood, my neighbors, about PR construction, and I heard about the quality of the work that they did. That's what I was looking for. Price didn't matter, quality did.
Part of what PR Construction and Sean Brennan brought is he was able to form a team that worked well together so that good decisions were made the first time, and time wasn't wasted and money wasn't wasted. And I think that's one of the things that stood out to me is the quality of the people and how well they worked with you, the individuals. It wasn't a job for them. This was something that they were as passionate about as I was.
The kind of work that PR Construction does. How they communicated with me, which was, I didn't think it was important, but wow, when I step back away and think about it, everything that was done and while it was being done was communicated.
Communication on a job like this is key, and you know, throughout the process it turned out they did what they said they were going to do as far as if we were going to add something on and you know, come up with a new plan, which you end up doing. Part of construction is you say, wow, I didn't think of that before, and then, you know, here we go with another side job. But making sure that you understand what the pricing on it is and the timing and the implications when you say, why don't we add a fish tank or something, which we did. And then follow-up meetings are important. They were here a lot, you know, I'd say 1 to 2 weeks we'd sit down and go through where we are in the process, how we doing on the job as far as timing and pricing, and did we want to do that, you know, and communication's really the key to that, and they did a very good job at that.
Whenever we had a change order, we got a bid immediately. I felt the bids were reasonable, and he gave us options. For instance, you know, the choice of windows. You can spend a lot of money for Anderson windows. You can buy a little bit cheaper window with Pella windows, and he was able to give us options. Looking at some of the projects, I go, you know, this part of it is more expensive than I want. He would come in and here's your options. And so I felt real good about working with PR Construction, that he was making sure that I got exactly the home that I wanted, and also didn't spend more money than I needed to get the desired result.
Everything that we did we're very happy with. You know, on a nice day, there's nothing better than sitting out here, and you know, we've got basically a full kitchen and bar out here and watching the game and having the kids play in the pool and taking a jacuzzi, you know, etc. And it worked out really well.
What a dream it was to see this and be able to you know, see this vision that you'd had, because PR Construction will get it done cheaper, faster. They'll bring the right team together. In every step of the way, PR Construction made the project easy, and it's a one-stop shop for the whole building process. And I like that a lot.